We blocked this doorway up a little while ago and we've actually been using this room as a store. That's why we're just finishing it off now. So the first thing we did was to chip the plaster off and just make sure that A, there is a lintel, and B, it's in good condition. Some older properties don't always have a lintel, and the door frame itself can be providing support to the bricks above. In that case, you're going to have to use some other means to provide support, maybe a new lintel or a really sturdy frame. The first common error we see is that people don't pull the original door frame out and they put a piece of wood nailed onto the original door frame and then a piece of plasterboard into that. That leaves the original door frame in place, which you can't plaster onto because you can't plaster onto wood. The other error we see is that people do take the frame out, but they finish the new piece of plasterboard up to this point here rather than take it over the bricks. And there tends to be a lot more movement in the wooden frame compared to the bricks. So you'll almost certainly get a crack along this line. So we've taken the plaster off and then we're going to bring the dot and dab and plasterboard over onto this brickwork. And that should then move the line from here over to here, which is far less likely to crack, especially if we seal this joint with dot and dab. So you could take all the plaster off and dot and dab the whole wall, but this is pretty solid. So in fact, we're just going to go up to this point here with the new plasterboard. The other important point is we're turning this into a bathroom and we've run copper pipe. You don't want the copper pipes to be able to touch the old brickwork, especially the cement, and you don't want the board adhesive to get onto the copper pipes because it can all be corrosive. The best thing to do is to lag the pipes or at least protect them, so while you're doing the board adhesive work, it's not going to get onto the pipes. Of course, once it's all dried and it's away from the pipes, it's not really a problem. Okay, so we've put the board on now and we've put the board adhesive around and we've put scrim tape around the joint to stop it from cracking. We've also SBR'd the wall and now we're going to apply bonding anywhere that's not dead flat by putting a straight edge right along the wall. So that's it plastered, and now we covered it with a cupboard. Thank you for watching, and if you've got any questions, drop us a comment.